generally more upper back. Kind of puts your shoulder in a bit, all your joints are stacked for the weight in the bar to get to my elbow. What is going on, guys? We are back with some more model physique exercise library. If you're wondering why I'm wearing this hat, it is because my hair is messed up AF and I just didn't want to look like a total complete bum. So enough is enough, let's get into it. That's why you're here. We are moving into the exercises, y'all. Let me turn that sound off. We are starting with, sorry guys if it seem like I'm ripping through these. I don't want to make these videos too long. I don't want them to take up too much of your time. I want them to be something that you can look at when you are even in the middle of your workout. You can go to my website, go to the exercise library, and just, click on the video you want to see, and I'm going to try and keep it to, hopefully a couple minutes, and that's the plan. So enough of that anyways, of explanation, but anyways, let's get into it. We are doing pull-ups. So what we have here is basically neutral grip and versus supinated or pronated. Supinated, like you're drinking soup out of your hands, is a good way to, underhand grip, supinated grip, neutral, pronated. So most people will be strongest doing this type of a pull-up, chin-up or whatever, in the neutral grip because, well, for one, it's the greatest range of motion, because when you go out really wide, you won't be able to get your elbows all the way down to your sides as close as possible. So when you're closer, your elbows are able to actually come down to by your side, which would be using more lat, as where the wider you are is generally more upper back. So it's depending on what you want to do. But if you're someone who's trying to get stronger at pull-ups, just in general, or someone who can't do a single pull-up or a single chin-up, I would start you with the neutral grip, basically shoulder width neutral grip pull-up, because it will be the position that you'll be the strongest in. Some people may think that if you're doing a supinated grip, that this would be a stronger position. It is more bicep, but it also kind of puts your shoulder in a bit of an externally rotated position, which isn't bad. It's just for some people, when they come down and get a full stretch on the bottom, if you're doing like a dead hang pull-up, chin-up, which I would recommend working towards, you might get a little bit of like shoulder discomfort. And I still do believe that the neutral grip is just the stronger grip. So that's what we got here. That's why it's in the Model Physique 12-week program. And yeah, so it's so some things to keep in mind is why it's one of the strongest grips is because all your joints are stacked for one, and you'll also have the greatest range of motion. And when your joints are stacked, you will have basically more even load through the wrist, through the elbow, hand, wrist, elbow, shoulder, because they're all in line with each other. As soon as you go out wide and you're doing wide pull-ups, for the weight in the bar to get to my elbow, to get to my shoulder, to get to my back, it has to first all go through the elbow, and then all go through the shoulder, all go through the wrist. Well, but the wrist isn't, if the wrist is broken, but no one does pull-ups like that. Sorry guys, lost my train of thought. This way that the joints are all stacked is just it's just a stronger position for everyone. I think I beat that to death already. Some key points to immediately make your pull-up stronger. This will probably be harder at first, but it will make you stronger right away. And you can see when I'm doing these pull-ups, the only joints that are moving, excuse me, are basically my shoulder joints and my elbow joint, really. And you can see it's essentially like a board. You want to be as stiff as a board, right? Find the position, the amount of lean that you want. The more you become parallel to the bar, the more lats will be, the lower down your back it will be. It will become more and more like a row, right? And the more less of an angle, it will be more upper back, that kind of stuff. So what you want basically is to be, you can see how high my head is getting above the bar, right? So that's what you want to work to. You want to be able to hold, you want to be able to bring your chest to the bar, okay? And think of almost bringing your back pockets in your jeans, when you wear them, up to the bar. You almost want to think of it like you're bringing your low back to the bar, believe it or not. And in turn, that will kind of give you the proper angle to kind of hit the lats, to bring the lats into it properly, to make you stronger. But the most important thing is you can see how stiff I am, how rigid I am. So when you're doing the pull-up, you don't want any of this swinging. You don't want a break in the chain. That's basically a strength leak is what it is. So if you're flopping all over the place and you're trying to do pull-ups, and at every, basically from your shoulder joint to your toes and your hips and your knees and your spine and your vertebrae and your spine, if they're all moving around all over the place, you're gonna get a lot of strength leaks. And when you start to strap weight to yourself to do weighted pull-ups, if you've got a strength leak at the low back, say where the weight is hanging, it's just, you're not gonna be as, it's gonna be harder for you to progress in time because you're more likely gonna cheat. It's gonna put more load on your low back, which is also what you do not want. So, key points here. Let's break this down. I'm trying to keep this video short. It's not short at all. Key points. Squeeze the glutes as hard as possible, okay? Squeeze the glutes as hard as possible. Your sternum and your hips do not move, okay? That's your sternum and your hips do not move. You don't go into extension or flexion, okay? They want to be stacked over top of one another. Glutes squeezed, right? And like quads locked on, quads fired, and you want to be stiff as a board, straight as a board, stiff as a board, from the top of your head to the very end of your toes. That will give you an advantage as that starts to feels normal for you. You'll essentially be doing pull-ups like this. As where when you see a lot of people, they'll do the pull-up, they'll curl their legs up behind, they'll bend their legs, which can be done, which you will see me do that, but the only reason why I'm doing that is because the majority of chin-up bars in a gym are fucking too short for me because my feet hit the fucking ground. But you can see in this example that I'm able to keep my legs locked, my glutes squeezed, and my chest over top of my hips the entire time. You gotta do that. You just have to do that. Those are strict pull-ups, okay? There's none of this swinging shit, none of this cheating shit, none of this flopping around like a fish type shit. You need to keep straight as a board, neutral grip, bring your low back to the bar, keep ears away from shoulders, stay out of your traps as best you can, and bang them out. That is it for this one, guys. Try and keep the next one shorter. Love you guys. I'm out of here.